Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Sciences by Tumi Silani. This is lesson 6 on our lesson series on homeostasis and the endocrine system. And on this video, we will be looking at how homeostasis is maintained for blood CO2 levels or carbon dioxide levels. Let's get right into it. Okay, guys, now we know from grade 10 that carbon dioxide accumulates in the body due to cellular respiration, due to the process where glucose is broken down to release energy. The reason why we breathe in and we breathe out is because of cellular respiration. We breathe in air that is rich in oxygen, and then the oxygen diffuses into our blood, and then the blood takes the oxygen to the body cells where the oxygen will be needed for cellular respiration. Okay, now the body cells in turn will produce a lot of carbon dioxide from the process of cellular respiration, and then the carbon dioxide will diffuse from the body cells into the blood, and then there's a constant increase in carbon dioxide levels in the blood. So we can't have carbon dioxide levels increasing in the blood because that lowers the pH of our blood and makes our blood slightly more acidic. So to negate this, what happens is that the carbon dioxide in the blood must be taken back to the lungs and then diffuse into the lungs, and then we exhale the carbon dioxide. Now, there are situations where the carbon dioxide levels in our blood will increase dramatically. And this is when cellular respiration is taking place at an increased rate. And think about it. When do we need a lot of energy? We need a lot of energy when we are doing strenuous physical activities, like when you are running, for instance. So when you are running, the carbon dioxide levels increase due to the fact that the rate of cellular respiration increases dramatically in order to provide enough energy for your muscles during this running activity. So it is good for cellular respiration, the rate of cellular respiration to increase when you are running, because it is supplying your muscles with the correct or with enough amounts of energy. But as a byproduct of that, carbon dioxide levels increase. Okay, so when carbon dioxide levels increase, the more carbon dioxide levels there are, or there is rather, the more you need to exhale or get rid of this carbon dioxide from the body. Therefore, your breathing rate should be increased for you to eliminate or to breathe out the carbon dioxide. Besides the breathing rate increasing so that you can breathe out the accumulated carbon dioxide, there must be enough carbon dioxide moving from your body cells to your lungs so that you can excrete it or you can breathe it out. And how is carbon dioxide transported from your body cells to your lungs? It is transported by the blood. So from the body cells, the circulation rate or the rate at which blood moves in your body must increase from your body cells to your lungs. So what increases the circulation rate? The circulation rate is increased by the heart. The heart must beat faster so that blood can circulate more to transport more carbon dioxide to the lungs. The breathing rate must also increase. Why? to get the carbon dioxide from your lungs out to the atmosphere as well. Okay, so in terms of controlling the carbon dioxide levels, when carbon dioxide levels increase, the circulation rate must increase to transport the carbon dioxide to the lungs, and the breathing rate must also increase for you to exhale carbon dioxide. So there are two things that we are going to be looking at: heartbeat as well as breathing rate. Okay, the rate of the heart and the rate of breathing must also, both of them must increase. Now, question: breathing rate and heart rate are two things in your body, or processes in your body, that are controlled by which part of your brain? Which part of the brain, think back to the nervous system, which part of the brain is responsible for for controlling involuntary actions of the body? And that part will be the medulla oblongata. Okay. Now, when you get a question like this, when CO2 levels in the blood rises above normal, explain the homeostasis of CO2 levels when CO2 rises above normal. What is it that you must say? You're supposed to explain this by saying receptor cells. Okay, before I go there, remember the golden rule. We must describe 4 things. Okay, the first one, you must describe which part of the body will detect, okay, and then which part of the body will react. It will react by doing what function? And then lastly, the end result or the conclusion. This is the golden rule when you are describing negative feedback or homeostasis of any kind. That's what you are going to get marks for. So, receptor cells in the aorta of the heart are stimulated, so they detect. And what is going to be the reaction of the body? They send impulses to the medulla oblongata, that's the control center of the brain. And what does the medulla oblongata do? Which then stimulates the heart to beat faster. Okay, but remember, there are 2 things that we said we are looking at in terms of regulation of CO2. We said you need to describe what happens in terms of circulation, circulation rate, and B, you must describe what happens in terms of breathing rate. So this first part explains the circulation rate. Okay, this first part explains the circulation rate. That when there's an increase above normal of CO2 levels, receptor cells of the aorta of the heart do the detection, and then they react by sending an impulse to the medulla oblongata. Okay, and then what is the function of the medulla oblongata in this case? It will cause the heart to beat faster. Okay, so that is circulation rate. Now we must describe the breathing rate. So the medulla oblongata also sends an impulse to the breathing muscles. These are the diaphragm muscles and the intercostal muscles. Okay? To do what? To contract more actively. To contract more actively. When they control more actively, what does that entail? Thus increasing the depth, how deep, and the rate, how fast you breathe. So the impulse will be sent to the breathing muscles to do what? To contract more actively, which will increase the depth and the rate of breathing. And then the conclusion will be that more CO2 is exhaled from the lungs. Okay, guys, let us look at the following slide. And, the last one, that the blood CO2 decreases back to normal. Don't say goes back to normal. You must say decreases back to normal. Let's look at it again in the following slide. Okay. When there's an increase in blood CO2 levels due to cellular respiration, we said that number one, what is going to detect? Receptor cells in the aorta of the heart are stimulated. There is the aorta over there. There are receptor cells there that are going to detect this increase in blood CO2 levels. Step number two, then after they detect this increase in blood CO2 levels, we said that an impulse is sent to the medulla oblongata of the brain, and then the medulla oblongata will cause, firstly, what? Which stimulates the heart to beat faster. Okay. But the medulla oblongata does not only send an impulse to the heart to beat faster, it also sends an impulse to the breathing muscles. The breathing muscles, we said, is the diaphragm muscles. It's the diaphragm muscles. Remember that the diaphragm is that muscle under the lungs. And the intercostal muscles. The intercostal muscles are the muscles between the ribs. Both these muscles control the rate and depth of breathing. Okay? The breathing muscles, the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, to do what? To contract more actively. When they when they contract more actively, this will cause an increase in the depth and the rate of breathing. And then more carbon dioxide is exhaled. And in conclusion, blood CO2 levels decrease back to normal. So in terms of grade 12, in terms of grade 12 life sciences, this is all you need to know when it comes to the control or the regulation of CO2 levels in the blood. Okay, guys? The following lesson will be the final lesson, the last lesson on our series on the endocrine system as well as homeostasis, which is thermoregulation. So until I see you in that video, take care and goodbye.